Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, I'm in my unofficial story time spot. So, this one, I think if I have a lot more of these, I'm just going to call them work horror stories, which I feel like I do. But this video, as you can see at the title, is We Got Robbed. Alright, so as you guys know, I previously worked for another financial institution prior to the one I'm at now. And this is the one that I got fired from. Okay. So, I don't recall dates. I apologize. I can give you like roundabout. So, let's see. This was maybe around, this was summertime of last year. So, summertime 2023. It was fairly hot outside, if I'm not mistaken. I recall that. As a matter of fact, it could have been like around this time, May, where it's like kind of warming up, but it's kind of like a breeze, something like that. And people were still wearing masks, COVID masks and stuff. Okay, so this particular day, this was about, I want to say either a Wednesday or a Thursday. And I say that because I don't think we got off late, so it had to be like a Wednesday. So I'm at work. It's approximately between the hours of 11 and 1 or 1:30, and everything's good. Came to work, we're laughing, we're joking, and all of these things, handling customers and all that stuff like that. And so there are 4 stations at the teller line. Well, three teller line stations, and then there's one universal station at the end where you can do both teller and sit down with the customer, help them. So I was sitting at the end. So picture me, the end desk, and then there's 1, 2, 3 desks to my right. And then there's a door behind me here, and then the same doors on the opposite side. Okay. And then my manager's office is on the other side too as well. So it's the door and then the office. And same on the other side. So working, having a good time, cackling, all that stuff like that. I'm a jokester. I love to laugh. Anybody who knows me knows I laugh, and I laugh loudly. They often tease me about how when I laugh, I throw my head back. If it's funny, I'm gonna laugh. Joking around and everything like that. And I remember one of my coworkers, he had stepped out for lunch. I had came back from lunch and he had stepped out. And so I know it was late because he was always late coming back from lunch. So it had to be like close to maybe the 12 1 o'clock, something like that. So people are in line, and of course they have masks on. There's nothing wrong with that. It's COVID, so I'm not thinking anything of it. Someone comes up to the tellers, to me, black man, bald head, comes up to me, has his hand in his jacket pocket, has a mask on, and he pushes a note across my desk, which is common because we dealt with a lot of business customers, so they will often write down how much change they would need. They would get boxes of quarters and boxes of pennies and rolls of this and rolls of that. So I'm used to that. That's not nothing new. He pushes it across, but he doesn't take his hand off of it. Like, he wouldn't give me the note. He pushed it and like kept his hand on top of it so I wouldn't take it. So it literally said, "Don't scream, don't push a button, give me all of your money," or something like that. Now, if you've worked at a bank, you know that you are not necessarily trained, but you are well aware of what you should do. And sometimes in those instances, those things don't automatically click. So I was confused because I'm like, looking at this man. I'm like, he's old enough to be like my dad or something like that. And I'm just looking at him like, looking at the note like back and forth. I'm like, what? And I'm like trying to take the note out of his hand, and he's like, don't scream, don't push no buttons. And he said it again. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? That's when I realized, like, oh, this nigga's trying to fucking rob us. So I'm like, all right. I personally do not keep money in my drawer unless it's like mutilated dollars that you wouldn't give out to somebody. I don't keep bills in my drawer. So really the only thing you have is your bait money. And so I opened the drawer, gave him the bait money, and he did. But he had his hand in his pocket as if he had a, like, motion as if he had a gun. So I'm like, oh shit, my heart's pounding. I give him the bait money, he dipped out. As soon as he did that, because my bait is like a G pack or a GPS pack. So it has a GPS thing on it. So really, as soon as he left the premises, everything started to go off. I pressed my button, and it really was like, think of that scene how to set it off, right? Press the button. They had global security call. No one can leave. No, absolutely no one that's on the premises inside of the bank can leave. So lock all the doors, have everybody sit down, and I'll never forget, we had this one customer. This lady used to irk my nerves so bad, and of course she had to be black and so embarrassing. She's very loud, like, they just got robbed, and I'm like, lady, nobody in here knew that. Like, no one in here knew that, and you're yelling from the top of your lungs, they just got robbed. Like, I'm like, girl, why would you do that? That don't make sense to me in my head. Why she even did that? I'm just like, what the hell is going on? So shut everything down. You have to fill out, everybody, including yourself and including your team members, have to fill out like a description thing. What did he have on? What physical features did you see? Yada yada yada. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? Police come. You have to let them in. They look. Are you okay? Yada yada yada. You have to count your box to make sure, like, you are accounting for, if you, so say for instance I did have money in my box and I gave him what I had, I have to account for the missing money. It's not my fault, and I won't get in trouble for it or penalized for it or nothing like that, but I have to account for the difference if I had one. Really the only difference I had was my bait. My bait was only $600. That ain't shit if you're robbing a bank, right? Alright, cool. Now, I'm gonna stop here, because I know you're probably wondering, like, well, don't y'all sit behind like it's no glass. It's no glass. You walk in. It's like people often compare it to a cafe. You walk in, there's a desk here, there's a desk there, there's a teller line. You come in, hey, well, we're really friendly and warm and welcome and all that stuff like that. People compare it to a cafe. There's a couch, all of that stuff. So I'm not sitting behind a glass. I'm not sitting in the back room, none of that stuff. I'm literally out in the open. All of us are. Okay? So, again, police come. Have the police talk to you. It's really nothing that the police can do. Now the FBI is coming in. These are federal agents. I mean, FBI, ATC, HBO, CNN, all these fucking police officers, federal agents, they're coming in and they're wanting to talk to me. They want to talk to everybody, but they want to talk to me. They get your name, they get your birthday, they get your phone number, your address, what your banking title, like your position title is, how long you've been working there. They go through the whole, repeat the story or whatever, like verbatim, all that. They go through that. I spoke to 2 different people. One guy was just like a general guy, like, I mean, he was an agent, but I spoke to him. Then I had to speak to another guy. Now this person, I felt like he was like the big dude. He was big white guy, And he was super nice, but he was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "You just got robbed." Like, I didn't know what to tell him. And I'm like, "Oh my God." And from then on, I had like this thing where, like, not that I was scared, but it was just like anxiety, kind of. I think I would explain, I would use that word, like anxious, like anxiety. It's like, this was a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday. This is a Wednesday. I can bet my bottom freaking dollar this is a Wednesday. But anyway, so we go through all of that. As the people, the actual customers, are in the branch and they speak to people, the agents, and they figure out, okay, they don't know anything, or they tell them what they do know, if they saw something or whatever, they exit them out the premises. And that's fine. So we shut down for about an hour. We're technically not allowed to talk to each other about it, but come on now. I mean, be for real. We gonna talk. So we talked. We were shut down for like an hour, and then naturally, all of us are thinking, I thought, because we had gotten robbed prior to this too, so let me just put that out there. It dwindled in my mind, like maybe they'll let us go home or close down early. Now, you all right? You good? Everything's okay? Sit your ass back down at this fucking seat and work and take these next fucking customers that come the fuck up in here. That's pretty much what it was. Right? Alright, cool. I get through the rest of the day. The next, so like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like everything is cool. Sunday, cool, whatever. Still had a little bit of anxiety, like people come in, they pass you notes, right? So automatically my heart starts pounding, and then I figure out what's going on, and I'm like, okay, they're good. All right, well, Monday comes. Now, again, if you never worked for a banking or financial institution, most of the time, Friday are your busy days, Monday is your busy days. So everybody's on staff Monday, everybody's on staff on Friday, right? All right, cool. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday go by, everything's cool. Monday comes, everybody on schedule, whatever. So this particular day, I said, and I think after that that robbery, I did not sit at that desk for the next couple days. I didn't sit there. I sat at an actual teller station. I think there's 4. If I'm not mistaken, there's 4 teller stations. There's 4, because I was sitting at the 3rd one, if I'm not mistaken. There's 4. I'm sorry, I had to remember. It's been a while since I've been there. But there's 4. So I was sitting at the 3rd teller station, and then my teller manager was sitting at the next station next to me, and someone else was sitting at that desk. Okay. Everything's cool. It's like afternoon-ish, 1, 2 something o'clock. There's a line. It's not a lot of people, but there's a line. So I see a man. There's people in line, and it's not a lot, but they're coming. We're helping them, whatever. And this person comes up to me again and pushes a paper across the top of the counter. Don't scream. Don't push your button. Give me all your money. So I'm like, what the hell is going the fuck on? Same person. So the person that robbed us on Wednesday is the same person that robbed us again 4 days later. Black man, bald head, mask on, hand in his pocket, motioning like he got a gun. The difference this time, I don't have my big money back yet, right? So my teller manager is like, I look at her and I'm like, we're getting robbed. I don't give a fuck what's going on now, because I don't have no bait money. So now it's like, I can't give you shit. I'm like, we're getting robbed. She's like, what? She looked up and she's like, And she's trying to get him out, like, go away. He was like, give me the fucking money. Give me the money. He was like, what the fuck? So she goes in her drawer, and she like, you know, you're in a panic at that. And she's like scrambling, trying to get it. He's like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. She gives him the money. He comes around. He literally comes around that little single desk. He comes around the desk and like kind of like pushed her a little bit. And she's like, go, you got the money, go. And then I guess from all the commotion, people in the back came out and he dipped off. We saw what car he got into. Because the car pulled up to the damn bank. In front of the damn bank. I'm like, what the fuck is this person crazy? And he got in on the passenger side. And it was two ladies. It was one driving and one in the back seat. And he got in on the passenger side. They took a picture of the license plate number. Now let me rewind this. From Wednesday leading up until Monday, we were being told that the person got caught. So we're relaxed a little bit now. Like, you're still a little anxious, but you're relaxed. You're at work. Like, the person got caught. It's good. Not to say that nobody else will come in and try to do the same shit, but you didn't expect the same person to come in and do the same shit. Well, guess what? They did. He came right back in there Monday and robbed us again and only got $600. Same GPS pack. She got hers. We like, what's going on? What the hell is going on? The person that's supposed to replace your G-Pack or your dye pack or your bait, they hadn't come yet. They were coming the next day. So when they came, they had to do two. My managers are scrambling because they're like, we thought the person got caught, so who told us the wrong information? We still to this day do not know who told whom that the robber got caught. Period. We're still to this day confused about what the hell happened. Alright, boom. Do the same process. She pushed the button. Global services call. Police come. FBI comes. The same FBI crew. And they dusted fingerprints and all of that stuff. It took a minute for them the first time when they fingerprinted the desk. It took a minute for that whatever they used to come off, because it would not come off. They came back, the same crew. They was like, what's going on? The same tall white man, the agent, he was super cool. He was like, well, what's going on? And now at this point, I'm like, I hope and pray to God that they don't think that I got something to do with this, because the person came up to me twice. And the second time I ain't have shit. Like I said, I never kept money in my box. So all I had was my beat. Well, you got that the first time. You got that on Wednesday. I ain't got shit for you, bruh. I don't have nothing for you. So went through the process again. So this is when they decided to get a guard, because we didn't have a security guard. I'm like, this is ridiculous. We were robbed 3 times within the 2 years that I've been there. I can't recall the very first time. That girl Diane, the one that me and her got into it and I got fired, she got robbed the first time. She got robbed the first time. But the second time, the second and third time, it was me and my telemanager at the time. And that shit to me still boggles my mind. The second time it happened, again, I'm hoping and praying like they don't think that I got nothing to do with it, because from the outside looking in, it's like, why the fuck they keep coming up to you? But it's like, I'm thinking like it's a black thing. People do that. But then it's also like, and then it's like, my anxiety is now thing. So it's like, I don't like people passing notes across the table. Do not do that to me. If you put it in my hand. Do not push a note across here. I don't like that. That's something that I don't do anymore. I also became very cautious of any black bald man, which sounds crazy because my dad is black and bald, but like, his head ain't shiny as that man. That man head was shiny like a fucking bowling ball. But I just became really cautious, like, and kind of like a little nervous a little bit. Because people like that, they case the bank before they rob it. So somebody had to come in there and say, oh yeah, they out in the open and ain't no glass up. That made me start to think like, I need to change, I need to get another job, because, you know, y'all know I'm out here by myself, technically. I don't have any family in Maryland. All of my family is in New York, or my cousins in Philadelphia. I can't have my parents are 64 and 65 years old. My dad's retired. He's got one hip that just got replaced. He's doing another hip, getting the other hip replaced at the end of this month. My mother is working, but my parents are not. I can't have my parents worrying about me at work, somewhere where, for the most part, you should be safe. When you go into banking, and this is for the people who think about it, or it's crossed their mind that they want to go into banking, especially like retail banking, they prep you like, oh, you can be robbed, but you never really put it into reality. Like, you never really think that it can really happen, right? Like, you hear about it, oh, this place got robbed, this place got robbed, but you never really think like, somebody gonna fucking come in here and try to rob us. You never think that. Like, your mind won't allow you, because unless you've been robbed before, if you've been in that situation before, your mind won't let you think that that's a real thing. Yeah, like, my mind automatically goes to, oh, robbery, movie, TV show, like something that's not real until it happens. So now it's like, niggas out here robbing banks. Like, what? Who the fuck? Who is this old ass man? And who is them two ladies? Like, it's. If you, my advice, my sincerest advice to people who want to go into financial banking, retail banking as a career, please know that bank rob shit is a real thing. It's absolutely not fake. That man had a gun. I didn't think he had one. That man had a gun both times. He literally came around the corner. He could have shot me and my telemanager. He could have killed us both. And guess what? That would have been on that bank's property. They would have been responsible, because they did not, there's no precaution, right? There was no security guard. And that glass, that's usually, you're behind the glass, there is none. There is none. It's literally out as open as this is as open as that fucking bank is. And I really had to think to myself, like, I can't put my family through that. The first time it happened, my mother was like, you need to find another job. The second time it happened, she was like, no, absolutely fucking not. She sent me job postings and all that. She was like, you cannot fucking work there, because I'm not having it. And I understood it. So I don't blame her. But I kept working it, and it didn't happen again. But then you start to get, well, so after they get robbed, or you get robbed, the following day or within that couple days, they send someone from, like, somebody's like a therapist, some shit like that, somebody for you to talk to. I didn't give a fuck about talking about it. It was over. They did that the first time. They sent her again the second time. Ma'am, we don't want to talk to you. We done been through this process a couple fucking days ago. Just leave. She came. Typically, they stay for the whole day. She came and stayed for like an hour and was gone the second time. Because it's like, nobody wanted to talk to her. Like, I have to work. I don't have time for this bullshit. Like, we got robbed. Whatever. Here's what I will say. I don't know about all banking institutions, but this particular one, I got a bonus for giving out my paid money. Me and my telemanager. We got a bonus for that shit. Don't ask me why. And they give you a certificate. I trashed mine. They give you a certificate. Something along the lines of, you pretty much help the bank or whatever, like, not lose millions of dollars. Some shit like that. So that was the only good thing that came out of it, was the fucking bonus. Really, to be honest. And then you, of course, now that you got robbed, this is a federal case. They caught the guy the second time. Okay, you gotta go to court. You gotta go to court. Hey y'all, so this is gonna be just an update in reference to the story time we got robbed. So pretty much at the end, what I was saying was that they pretty much summon you to court for a court appearance because you're a witness, and they send you like all of these letters, and you know, it's not a quick process. It's like that happened in the summertime. I didn't start getting court stuff until I moved in. So I was still living at my old place when that happened, and I didn't get court stuff until it was time for me, or I was already here. They were sending stuff, and it was getting mixed up in the mail because I submitted a change of address. So by the time I'm getting it, it's like days away, and I'm like, I'm not going to court for this. Like, this man don't need to see my face or none of that stuff. So I end up calling. Now my old telemanager, she ended up being able to get out of it because her son was graduating, I believe, and they had to go. Her family was already planned to go out of town, so she ended up being excused. So of course I'm thinking like, oh, I'm about to make up some shit. Mind you, my aunt had passed away, so I'm like, I can use that. Forgive me. But what ended up happening was I did send an email that stated that, and then someone actually called and reached out to me and was like, yeah, you're not required to come to court. It's just if you would like to show up, or you have some type of impact statement, victim impact statement to say. And I was like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, but you're not required to go to court. So that worked out perfectly fine. But honestly, to this day, like, I'm not sure, like, you know, what the sentence was or nothing like that. I just was like, as long as I'm out of it, I'm good. So, but again, what I will say is that anyone who wants to get into banking is not a bad job. And I hope that that's not the vibe that y'all got from the rest of the video. Banking is not a bad job. It's a really good career move, especially if you're into finance. However, with retail banking, there is always a possibility or the threat of robbery because people out here are crazy. Like, they have nothing better to do than to stick up a place and rob it. And that goes for banks and any type of other retail stores where they feel like people have money, or just people on the street. Like, people don't have any work hard bone or hardworking bone in their body. They just want stuff the easy way. So just be cautious of that. I also will state that I cannot say for any other locations for that particular institution. I'm pretty sure they were all set up the same, because I do recall the one back home was set up the exact same way where there was no glass. So I'm assuming that it's all of the locations for that specific institution. A lot of other institutions are not like that. So again, and then a lot of institutions have guards as well. So, you know, of course, I don't want to say the name of the bank because I don't want to deter anyone from applying there. They do pay you. You're going to have to work for it, but they do pay. From my understanding, they have increased the starting pay for new employees. So when I started out making $20. I believe they increased it to $22 from what I was told. So it's a good job. If you happen to find that institution, go right ahead. Yeah, so, but that was it. I just wanted to make sure I come back and give y'all a little ending or something, a little sunshine. So if you guys are interested in any other story times, and I do believe I have some, let me know, especially the work ones. So I'm pretty sure I definitely have a couple in the back of my mind that's popping up at this very moment that I have to write down to make sure that I just put them out there. But yeah, peace.